Welcome to the demo video of the Dell Storage Management Pack for VMware vRealize Operations Manager 6.1. I am Darren Schmitz from the Dell Storage Engineering team, and today I'll be showing the installation, configuration, and troubleshooting. The first thing that we need to do is log into our Dell Enterprise Manager server. We are using Dell Enterprise Manager 2015 R2, which is the latest release compatible with the 6.1 adapter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the Dell Enterprise Manager Data Collector Manager. Once logged into the Data Collector Manager, I'm going to create a new user. Now, this user that I'm going to create is going to be used by vRealize to access Dell Storage's Enterprise Manager product, which is where all the statistics and alerts and everything is stored. So let's create that user. Effectively, what I'm doing is creating a service account for the vRealize Dell Storage Management Pack. So let's create a username, and we're going to call this vRops admin. I'm going to give it administrator rights so that it can get all the alerts. And give it a password, say next. Now, once that account is successfully created, you'll notice that it is not mapped to any storage centers, so we must do that next. Let's click OK to exit out of there. Next, we'll click on the Enterprise Manager client, log into a data collector, vRops admin, give it the password that I just created, and log in. Once logged in, you'll notice there are no storage centers added. In order for vRealize Operations Manager to see and gather the statistics for a particular storage center or a set of storage centers in the environment, it needs to be added in here. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the first array that I want to monitor, SC12, into the environment. I'm going to say next. And this is the password that I've created on the array to give vRealize access to this. So I already have an account created. Think of this as, again, a service account on the array. Next, I'm going to add the other storage center that I want to monitor. So I right-click on storage centers. I say Add Storage Center. I'm going to add 13. Once again, I give it the username and password so that it has access to that. Say Finish. Now that both of these accounts have been added in to and assigned to the vRops admin account on the Enterprise Manager Data Collector, this will essentially be our service account that the management pack uses to log in, gather statistics, get alerts, and whatnot. So from here on, let's go and log in to vRealize Manager. Swap over to my management machine. Let's log into the portal. I've already created and installed a vRealize appliance that I'm going to use for this installation. Now, let me log in. Once logged in, I need to install the management pack. To do that, I click on Administration, and the Solutions tab is the first that comes up. Once we're in the Solutions tab, I need to click on the plus to add. This is where I select the management pack that I need to install. In this case, I'm selecting the Dell Storage Adapter, the most current version. Say Open. In some cases, if you've already tried to install it, you can check the box to install it even if it's already installed. In this case, I'm going to check that and I'm going to say Upload. In a few seconds, this will be done uploading. Now that it's been uploaded, I can click on Next. At this point, I accept the terms of the licensing agreement and I say Next. After a few moments, this will be installed. Once that finishes installing, we can click on Finish. Now that the management pack has been installed, we need to configure it. So we'll highlight that and say Configure. So for the display name, I'm just going to say Dell Storage. And this is where I give it my Enterprise Manager IP information. In this case, that account that I created earlier was created on EM3. Default port, and this is where I put in the credentials. Give it a label. Give it a credential. This is where I can say test. The test was successful, so I can save those settings and close out. That has successfully installed the Dell Storage Management Pack and configured it. Next, we need to make sure that the dashboards, the built-in dashboards for the Dell Storage Management Pack are shared to all the users. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go back to my home and I'll click on Content, and that will bring up the dashboard screen. From there, I click on the cog and say Share Dashboards. As you'll notice, the Dell Storage dashboards are already shared with everyone. I'm going to drag that over there one more time just to make sure that they're shared with everyone and say Save. Now, with those installed, I can go look at the dashboards. So now with it properly configured, I can go over to my dashboard list. And in this case, I'm just going to uncheck the vSphere dashboard so that we can see all of the Dell storage dashboards and the default recommendations, diagnose, and self-help. So here are our Dell Storage Metrics dashboard. This gives general Dell storage metrics for each of the storage centers that the vRealize Operations Manager has access to. We also have the Dell Storage Top End reports. There are two panes of this. Both of them show different statistics. So you'll notice on the first top end reports, these are for the volumes. These are the top storage volumes for I/O, for KB per second, for all those, the replay space, the volume capacity, and whatnot. The next Dell Storage top end report is for the ports, and these are the ports in the storage centers. These are the front end ports, the back end ports, total KB a second. This will show latency, pretty much everything at a glance that you need to see in your environment. That's not to say there isn't already a Dell Storage at a glance. This dashboard gives you a point-and-click look at pretty much any resource in the system. You can drill down to a particular system, a particular controller, a particular set of disks, and drill into all of what you need to know for any particular volume in the system. There's also the Dell Storage and VMware relationship. Although the statistics have just begun collecting from the EM data collector, there is some information in here that we can use. We can look at virtual machines with potential problems or anything that in the environment that we want to drill down on and get some more information about. Next, let's talk about troubleshooting. So the first thing that you can usually do to troubleshoot the adapter to make sure that it's working is go over to the Solutions tab. Once at the Solutions tab, a quick, easy way to make sure that it's running is to go into it and just do a test connection. Most of the time, by testing the connection, this tests IP connectivity to the data collector. It tests to make sure that the credentials are still right. Maybe somebody changed credentials for the password in that particular data collector. This really is a great troubleshooting tool that just makes sure that you're able to connect to it. That solves a majority of the problems. Now, the next thing that we can look at when we go to troubleshooting is log files. So what we can do is go to the support. Under the logs, we look at the collector directory. You'll notice under there's adapters and the Dell Storage Adapter. This is where we can open up the Dell Storage Adapter logs. As you notice, there is nothing in the log file yet since we just installed it. No errors, everything's looking good. The other thing is, if you ever have a problem, what you can do is you can click on the collector and you can change the logging level. A key tip here is that the root logger level is usually set to error or warning by default. If you want, you can set it to debug and click OK. And what that will do is it will give a really verbose logging so that in case you need to create a support bundle and send it to the support department, you have all the information that they'd ever need to know in there. It is a good thing to note, of course, that when you're done recreating the issue with debug logging on, it is a good thing to put that back to where you found it, basically back to either error or warning. In this case, I'm just going to click cancel. I'm not going to change that. The other thing that you can do is if you do have and find a problem and the support department needs to take a more detailed look at the logs, you can click on the support bundles and click the plus to create a support bundle. Now you can either create a light support bundle or a full support bundle for this particular server. Just check that and say OK, and this will create a support bundle. Once it's done, this is a support bundle that you can email into support or submit it to the support department through the portal so that they can look at it. Once that's done, you can look at the support bundle, everything succeeded. You now can basically download that support bundle to your local machine for submission. And that concludes the Dell Storage Management Pack for VMware vRealize Operations Manager 6.1. If you would like more information, you can go out to www.dell.com/techcenter for all the latest documentation, videos, and resources. Thank you and have a great day.